Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kakum. Namely, we're on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, Minerals Commission rejects and deletes from its online register an application by a company seeking a license to mine in the Kakum National Park. More, as the Commission says, it will not give clearance for any form of mining to take place in that park. Also this afternoon, tobacco industry found to be frustrating implementation of sin tax. That's according to a CSO working in the area of tobacco usage following outcome of a research it conducted into the subject matter ahead of the 2024 budget presentation. And Constitutional Review Consultative Committee urged to also consider capping the number of judges as part of a comprehensive constitutional reform following its recommendation for ministers to be capped at 25. We have business, world news, showbiz, all coming up this hour. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Danana Aisha. Please stay for details. The Minerals Commission says it has rejected and deleted from its online register an application by a company seeking a license to mine in the Kakum National Park. In a statement signed by its chief executive officer, the Commission said it will not give clearance for any form of mining to take place in the Kakum National Park. Let's look at the full document, that statement from the Minerals Commission. It says the attention of the Minerals Commission has been drawn to publications on social media that civil society organizations in the country have vehemently kicked against the attempt by a mining firm to mine in the Kakum National Park in the central region. According to the CSOs, the move follows an application by the High Street Limited to the Minerals Commission for a license to mine in the Kakum National Park. The statement further states that the Commission will not grant that proposal. It has rejected and cannot be processed or considered whatsoever. Consequently, the Commission has deleted the application from the online mining, and the Commission wishes to assure the public that no mineral right, whether for prospecting or mining, shall be considered or granted in the Kakum National Park. Meanwhile, the Executive Director of Nature and Development Foundation, Dr. Mustafa Said, is among the CSOs making the claim against the Minerals Commission. He tells us more about the company putting in the application for a mining license in the Kakum National Park.
All the forest reserves in this country, including the Kakum National Park, can be put under mining. And so we are not surprised that a company has actually applied for that. The audacity, like you put it, or to even think about applying for a mining lease in the Kakum National Park is worrying. It just tells you that there is no forest reserve in this country that is protected from mining. Every forest reserve is a candidate mining site under these new regulations. So we know, and I said this in before, we already have enough in our hands with respect to illegal mining in off-reserve, in forest reserve. For governments to add to this problem by opening up forest reserve for mining is unfortunate, to say the least. So for me, and what we are asking for as civil society is for government to reconsider this law, amend it or repeal it totally. I think we have enough land outside forest reserves where we can mine. to think that the few areas that are reserved for forest reserves, for the protection of water bodies, for providing permit for cocoa, should also be given out for mining is very challenging to understand the reasoning behind it.
A senior lecturer at the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana, Dr. Asad Sante, has lauded the Constitutional Review Consultative Committee's proposal to cap the number of ministers at 25. It follows the Constitutional Review Committee's proposal to cap ministers at 25 and the removal of all deputy and regional ministers as part of a comprehensive constitutional reform. Listen to Chair of the committee, Clara Berry Kasati, and a member of the committee, Anthony Forson Jr.
We are even talking about removal of all deputy ministers.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the basis for that suggestion?
We are cutting down the size of government.
So we cap the ministers. Our recommendation is to cap ministers at 25.
25.
Not more than 25. Ghana doesn't need more than 25 ministers to run.
Interesting.
Revolutionary.
25 ministers.
Yes. No deputy ministers.
No deputies.
And it's capped.
Yes.
It's not in a situation like where Akufo-Addo, surprised all of us. 126 ministers.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And constituencies too should be capped. Now we have already have
275 with the possibility of 276 with SAL.
Exactly.
Yes. And there has been a debate that we have known for a long while now that people were actually lacing their boots for a total of 25 new constituencies to be created.
The EC has come out to say that
yes, I get it.
Only one.
Yes, I get it. Yeah. You are saying it should be capped.
It should be capped. We don't need more than 277 constituencies.
So for Parliament, you are not asking for a reduced number. You want it to stay at where it is.
It's almost impossible. It will be very difficult to reduce it. If we say that let's reduce it, I mean the acrimony. So which one will be the lesser evil? Cap it.
Cap it. Mm. But the interesting point is the deputy ministers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All will go.
Why?
Regional ministers too, all will go.
Oh.
Dr. Asad Sante says it will even be better if the number goes down further to 19. He also wants a cap on the number of Supreme Court judges, adding it will largely reduce the burden on the public. He spoke with me earlier on News Desk.
We need 19. I will go down because my proposal is that let's have 19. If you read the Constitution, it tells us that we have a minimum of 10 and maximum of 19 minutes, cabinet ministers. Remember, cabinet is made up of senior-most ministers who assist the head of state to take important decisions in the state. So if you look at all the rest of the ministers, very serious issues are discussed with cabinet. So we don't need the rest of the ministers. That's why I have argued over the period that we need 19. When you get the 19, then out of the 19, you take 16 who would double as regional ministers. So 16 of them will be regional ministers at the same time ministers of peace. So take for instance, you have somebody who is a Greater Accra regional minister and at the same time minister of defense for that matter. We should also extend the conversation to the judiciary. Let's place a cap on it. The U.S. Supreme Court is made up of 9 members who sit at a go. They listen to 50 cases a year. Why do we have 15, and so saying that there are vacancy for 3 and more. No, we have to do the needful. The U.S. example is that we can look at it where out of the 9 judges have the top lawyers in the state. Some of them are picked and they work under each of the Supreme Court judges. Each of them has over 10 crack lawyers who work under it, collect data and help them to write their report. And they listen to 50 cases a year. What it means is that, look, government may come, government may go. The time will come that you don't need to even put anybody in the court because nobody has resigned. And that tells you that, look, you are doing something serious about public affairs. You are ensuring accountability and value for money.
The prevalence of non-communicable diseases in Ghana is worrisome, killing over 94,000 Ghanaians annually, rendering others disabled, with many children lacking basic needs of food, shelter, and education. To arrest these, policies to control tobacco use, including tobacco taxation, have been recommended by the ECOWAS and WHO as cost-effective interventions for preventing and controlling NCDs. My colleague Jacqueline Ansomaya brings us her interaction with smokers and tobacco product dealers.
Well, there's been a lot of talk on the use of tobacco in Ghana, talking about the detrimental effect it has on our system, and also currently the price increase on tobacco in Ghana. Currently I'm with a couple of tobacco users and also one of the owners here who also sells it, to have a conversation with them when it comes to the taxes, the fact that now there are more taxes on these items, but still the consumption seems to increase, and the fact that there are detrimental effects, but still they continue to consume it. So let me just start my conversation with them. Hello sir, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing very fine.
Yes, please.
Okay, my first question, you taking cigarettes?
Yes, of course, I take cigarette.
All right. So why? Because I can see smoking causes rotten teeth. It damages your unborn child. It doesn't let others smoke. It causes a whole lot. But why do you still take it?
Yes, as you rightly said, it is written there. But we've been taking it since long, and it is something that boosts my immune system. Somebody can take something to boost his immune system.
It boosts your immune system?
Yes, I like tobacco. Whatever you write there, I don't care. After all, even the current government taxes here, taxes there, taxes wherever, but everybody is moving on. You cannot stop even the government on power not to impose taxes on certain things, but he's doing it. So if a group called itself has come out to say that they are putting on taxes on cigarette or tobacco, it's a welcoming news, but that wouldn't deter us from taking tobacco. Tobacco has been part and parcel of us, and it is with us. We will never leave tobacco. No matter how much they increase it, we will smoke tobacco. Even if they put it 100%, we will still smoke tobacco, because tobacco is part and parcel of us.
Yeah. How long have you been taking tobacco?
If I'm not mistakenly, I started tobacco when I was 16 years.
Wow.
Tobacco, yes, 16 years.
And how old are you now?
I'm now 48.
That's a very long time.
Yes.
But doesn't it have any effect on your body?
I've never been to hospital, and my doctor has proven that tobacco has an effect on me. I have no.
So you as for you, dear, no side effect on your body?
My doctor have not proven it yet, so I feel that I'm okay.
So I have another gentleman here who also, you take into...
I take tobacco.
Okay. Now, how long have you been taking this?
Let's say about 5 years. Is it 5 years? Yeah, exactly 5 years.
The side effect that they talk about, I see a lot causing breathing issues. Have you experienced any of them?
I know how this is caused, but I have not experienced everything about it. Like, and I don't have any effect about it.
You are very fine. You're okay.
I'm okay. Right now, I'm going to take some right now.
I see. Now there are taxes. The big conversation is there are taxes.
They have to take the tax from it, because this thing is killing people, plenty people. So how can you put the tax on it? Then that means you are not going to buy again.
Oh, if they still continue the tax, you are going to stop?
I will stop, because I cannot.
Don't you think that would benefit the government?
That one I don't have a problem. I don't care.
So you stop?
I will stop, so that I'll be free.
Let me come to you. Have been taking it for long. If the taxes increases, are you going to stop?
I will never stop it, because I know what it does to my system. I love tobacco. I love tobacco of any kind. I love it.
Auntie, and even if they say they are going to sell tobacco, one stick, 20 cedis, and I thought to buy it, I'll go and buy it.
That brings me to the taxes. The conversation is that taxes have been imposed on these. You know, it used to be called sin tax.
No, why? You go continue smoke.
Why wouldn't you? So, don't you think it's putting a lot of weight in your pocket? Because you are then spending a lot to get that item.
Gold Coast time now, car price was low. By now the car price was up. But still, we are buying car.
So regardless. Okay, all right. So, just as you heard from these gentlemen that I've been speaking to, regardless of the taxes that are being imposed, high prices of tobacco in Ghana, regardless, they are still going to continue to take it. But some are also of the opinion that when it keeps on increasing, they would have to probably resort to other means or quit and not buy the tobacco anymore. Right here, I am Jacqueline Asuma Yeboah reporting for Joy News.
Well, back here in the studio, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. According to research findings by Vision for Alternative Development Ghana, the tobacco industry is influencing the implementation of the excise duty amendment law passed by Parliament last year. Director of Programs at the Vision for Alternative Development Ghana, Labara Musa, tells me more about this research. He spoke with me earlier on Joy News Desk.
Okay, right. So thank you very much for the opportunity. So, so in the lead up to the passage of the Excise Duty Amendment Act 2003, Act 1093, we in fact experienced a lot of industry, interferences, and which most of them were mostly, subtle. So we have to commission a study to ensure that we are able to identify some of the tactics that the industry use. And in these tactics are not new. They are tactics that have been used over the years in many countries, especially when countries are eager or want to comply with the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, which Ghana is also a party. So they try to ensure that they are able to either derail or to ensure that undermine the process so that we don't get it, passed. Right. So there were a lot of media engagement that the industry, tried to use to ensure that to get public support. And some of the things that they put out there were to the extent that government is overburdening people, especially businesses, and then also overburdening the Ghanaian population with taxes. And indeed, you and I noticed that during from last year to around when the tax was passed, there were issues around the fact that the government have already taxed many people already, a lot of taxes, so government should rather be taking out taxes instead of increasing taxes. But we felt that health promotional taxes or excise taxes are not just taxes, but they are corrective taxes.
The eco-conscious group is urging government to follow the lead of East Africa and outrightly ban single-use plastics. Ghana is currently negotiating for a sustainable production of plastics as countries all over the world enter negotiations to formulate an internationally binding law aimed at tackling plastic pollution. Ghana continues to grapple with what experts describe as plastic menace, as an estimated 86% of the country's waste plastic load is improperly disposed of, resulting in plastics clogging up stormwater drains, rivers and streams, and ending up in the oceans. Aside its contribution to perennial flooding, plastic waste also affects marine life and poses danger to the global fight in tackling climate change. Opening the session in Nairobi, Kenya's President William Ruto says the plastic menace is an existential threat to human life.
Requires all of us, and I mean the Meza Guerda, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is not always common for the globe to speak in unison or act in urgency on an issue, especially when it is of an environmental nature. But the threat of plastics to our planet, our health, and our future is of such magnitude that it requires all of us, and I mean all of us, the global south and the global north, to develop and execute a global instrument that will help us to neutralize the threat of plastic pollution in our world. The numbers on plastic pollution explain the necessity of working together with tremendous purpose and urgency. Every year, more than 400 million tons of plastic waste are produced globally. Of this, 23 million tons find their way into rivers, lakes, and oceans, and less than 10% is recycled. Across the world, 46% of plastic waste is landfilled, 22% is mismanaged and becomes litter, while 17% is incinerated. If we hold our laurels and do nothing, we will produce more than 1 billion tons of plastic by 2060. This kind of polluting our environment is unacceptable and is essentially an existential threat to life, to humanity, and to everything in between.
Let's get more on this, and I've been joined by Aula Sewa, she's coordinator for Eco-Conscious, an NGO that deals and helps in protecting our environment. Aula, I'm grateful for your time. Your suggestion and that of other stakeholders seem the best in the situation we find ourselves, but also looks like a daunting task to achieve. How do you recommend we go about this?
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me. What we are asking to be done is nothing extraordinary. In fact, much of East Africa has already banned single-use plastics. So it's not anything that is so difficult or unsurmountable. It can easily be done. Let's take plastic bags, for instance. What did we do 20, 30 years ago when we went to the shops? We'll take either a basket or something with us to put our supplies in. So it is not necessary to get plastic bags. And now the menace is so much that we sort of use it for everything, including kenke. These days, when you go to buy kenke, the kenke has been wrapped in cling film or whatever you want to call it. The same with banku. And it is dangerous to our health. So what we are saying is that it's not a difficult step to take. All the government needs to do is to ban single-use plastics. It's very, very simple. Much of East Africa has done it, and parts of Asia, and it's not a difficult step to take.
What's the role of your NGO and others in the environment who are fighting to help us protect the environment?
Well, our role is to fight towards a clean, green, healthy, and serene environment. So we are fighting for different aspects. We are fighting to protect our green spaces, which are constantly under siege, whether it's our forest reserves or whatever. Atiwa Forest Reserve, lately Kakum Park, had it not been for activism, it would be subject to mining. So when it comes to plastics, we are saying that it constitutes a danger to health and to the environment. It is helping flooding. We know that a lot of our drains are choked with plastics. So what we are saying is that it's not a difficult thing to do. Just get on with it, ban single-use plastic. And then let people, support home industry. We weave a lot of baskets. We can continue weaving them and supporting them. And then there are all these recyclable and reusable bags that we can put our shopping in. We can also create employment. There are people using waste like plantain waste and others to make bags. So we can encourage those people doing it, support them, and stop the importation of plastics. It is not helping us in any way whatsoever. It is actually affecting the environment and our health.
Let's talk about the benefits. I mean, we've talked about all the nuances, now the benefits, and you used East Africa, for instance, as a yardstick. What are some of the benefits that the country is cashing in because they banned the use of plastics?
A simple one, for example, in Tanzania, there were reports that when they slaughtered the cattle, because of course people had thrown plastic all over the place, the cattle had invested the plastic. So when you slaughtered them, you found that there was plastic inside them. The same with the fish. When they banned single-use plastic, this situation almost disappeared. So that's a benefit because it's not good for your health to be ingesting plastics. And of course, it also helped with reduction in flooding. So those are some benefits one can easily point to. And I'm saying that other benefits are all the basket weaving industries that we have. If we stop relying on plastics, more people will support them. More people will have woven baskets. Make sure there's one in your car, one in, easily accessible. Anytime you're going shopping, take some with you and put your purchases in it. It will help us to increase employment, and apart from the health and environmental benefits.
I'm grateful for your time. Awola Sewa is coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens Ghana. Now, meanwhile, the United Nations Environment Program says the world must rethink on taking steps that will get plastics out of the nature. Engineer Anderson is executive director of UNEP.
They're absolutely critical. We are at the third INC, and we are here this week because nations have decided that we need to find a solution to plastic pollution, and we understood that it poses a major threat to environment as well as to people. And nations promised back in 2022 to do something about it. Right now, as you heard His Excellency President Ruto say in the opening, we produce about 430 million tons a year, and only 10% of that is recycled. 74% ends up in landfills, and from there it goes into the environment, or it already goes straight into the environment. So we have to take action. We also understand that there are chemicals associated with these plastics, many of them harmful. And we also, of course, understand that when we end up burning plastic, we are causing significant climate impact. So that's why 18 months ago here in this beautiful compound of the United Nations at Nairobi, member states took the decision to start this process with the resolutions on plastic. Now, I want to emphasize, as I did in my opening speech in the plenary, that the life cycle element is crucial. This instrument is not about recycling and improving recycling. This instrument is not just about waste management or cleanups. It is about a complete rethink on.
The Ghana-India Kofi Annan Center of Excellence in ICT through the Ministry of Communications and Digitalizations have received sponsorship to train 100 females in data analytics. This move, according to them, is expected to motivate and increase female participation in ICT.
These female trainees were selected out of 3,200 applicants from all the 16 regions. The 6-day boot camp included introduction to data analytics, data manipulation, introduction to Power BI, as well as application of data analysis process. The program is to motivate women take up ICT courses to boost their employment opportunities in that field. Stakeholders believe the low participation of women in certain ICT fields need urgent attention, hence the need to organize many more of such programs subsequently. Speaking at the graduation ceremony, the Deputy Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Amapuma Boaten, noted this move augments already existing government efforts in opening up the country's digital space.
The Ministry of Communications and Digitalization has over the years been offering various initiatives to empower our young women, especially for tech careers. And today is an example of one of the initiatives that we have been spearheading. We had a sponsorship from Global Ghana to train 100 women, young women in data analytics, and today is the last day. We've been very, very grateful to other partners like the Telecoms Chamber, who also came in to offer a platform where the young women, these are post-university students who can come in for internships or job placements. And then there's the opportunity for tech entrepreneurs, those who would want to set up their own businesses as well.
She added that more females will be added in subsequent editions. The Director General of the Kofi Annan ICT Center, Dr. Yabua Afari, called on other interested organizations to partner the program to enable them expand the scope and reach.
This program especially is to help build a digital gap between the male and the female. As you may see, I quoted some statistics there that there's so much gap that we need to fill, and this is just a step of it, a step in that direction to help the ministry fulfill its agenda. So as you heard Deputy Minister mentioned, we are appealing to the corporate Ghana to help in that direction, to help us by sponsorship.
Some of the graduating students spoke to Joy News.
I came here expecting to know a lot about data analytics, and actually my expectations have been met high, like over the expectations that I had. Right now I know how to use the Power BI tool, and then I know how to load data onto the Power BI to the platform. I know how to transform the data. I know how to actually clean the data and then work on it, model it, and then create visualizations, very beautiful ones. I'm so grateful to the sponsors of this program.
Karen Oben's report read to you.
Many young girls in remote communities in the Ashanti region continue to reel under the impact of the exorbitant cost of sanitary pads. Girls of school-going age who are unable to afford the sanitary ware are resorting to the use of unhygienic materials, including cement papers and plant leaves, to tend to their menstrual needs. In addressing the challenge, the Girl Education Unit of the Ghana Education Service in the Ashanti region has established a pad bank aimed at mobilizing more sanitary towels for the teenagers.
In the past year, over 900 teenage pregnancies were recorded for both WASI and BEC candidates in the Ashanti region, a situation the Regional Education Directorate attributes to cohabitation, parental neglect, and inadequate access to menstrual hygiene materials, lack of menstrual health education, and exorbitant costs of sanitary towels are impacting the adolescent girl education, health, and well-being. Ashanti Regional Girls Education Officer Hannah Ponsa explains many young menstruating females are resorting to unhygienic materials during their periods.
Some girls are tearing their exercise books, some are using cement papers, some are using rags, some are using polythene bags, a whole lot of things. Even the fortunate ones are the ones using the toilet roll. And if you look at all these things that they are using, it will lead to infection and other reproductive health complications.
In a bid to combat the menace, the Girl Education Unit of the Ghana Education Service in Ashanti region has established a regional pad bank to support girls. Dubbed Pad a Girl with Confidence, the initiative aims at increasing awareness and education on menstrual hygiene. It would also provide over 400,000 adolescent females in the region with free sanitary towels.
We want to support the needy girls with sanitary pads continuously or regularly. For the International Menstrual Day, we also want to mark the day. At least if every girl should go home with a sanitary pad to mark the day, it will be something that we will appreciate. Upper primary to SHS, all SHS are also under the directorates. We are looking at 444,000 girls. But for the needy ones, we will narrow it down to the schools.
Regional Coordinator for Non-Communicable Disease, Lydia Wusu-Ansa, says the intervention is timely. She believes the project would ease the spread of infections and teenage pregnancies in the region.
With the introduction of the pads, I would say it has come at the right time. The only thing that these girls need is to do what? To be changing their pads, keeping this pads for 24 hours. Remember, physiologically, when blood is kept on the system for more than 24 hours, it creates a room for infection. And this is what we want to prevent.
Beneficiaries are excited at the intervention as they advocate scrapping of taxes on sanitary pads.
Every year there is going to be this program and girls are going to get the chance to inhabit great things. So I think it's wonderful that people are here putting in their arms and doing everything they can. I just love the program.
I would like to tell the government to reduce the prices of sanitary pads so that most girls can buy it and use them, because it's somehow embarrassing when you don't have when you are not wearing sanitary pad and you are wearing an old cloth and it just leaks.
Corporate Ghana have been urged to support the initiative to expand reach to many parts of the region. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
We're still live on Joy News Today. We're coming to you from our studios in Kakum National Park. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces. When we return from this break, that will bring you the very latest coming from the world of business.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Players in the insurance sector are urging businesses and households to insure their goods and services against disaster. Speaking to Joy Business, President of the Ghana Insurers Association, Seth Aklasi, said the planning for uncertainties is crucial for business continuity. He spoke at a ceremony to donate items worth over 200,000 cedis to flood victims in the Volta region. Here's more.
Which is aimed at giving back to society, saw players in the insurance industry donate items worth over 200,000 cedis to flood victims in the Volta region. The items included 250 mattresses, 1,000 bags of sachet water, 300-kilogram burner cylinders, 50 cartons of sanitary pads, 200 mosquito nets, among others. Speaking to Joy Business after the ceremony, President of the Ghana Insurance Association, Seth Aklasi, explained the need for businesses to properly assess risk and prioritize the insurance of their goods and services.
Risk is defined as uncertainty. Our daily lives, there is something that you do not know that is going to happen tomorrow, which is the uncertainty. So that's why it's very important to say that this industry is an industry that is trained, equipped, prepared, and has money to take care of uncertainty. And it is very important for everyone to try to transfer the risk, because by nature of the fact that you are born into this world, you are born into risk. And if you do not plan for risk and you're only thinking about today, then you're going to be in trouble. As much as possible, let's try and plan for tomorrow.
Shaibu Ali is the president of the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana.
The industry has been moved by the plight of our brothers and sisters in the Volta region or the specific areas that have been flooded to take the decision to do this thing today. It is simple as we giving back to society. We are noted for collecting premiums from people and paying claims when claims happen. But like Seth said, this time we are not collecting, or we have not collected premium from anyone. We have gone into our own resources to marshal funds, to purchase items, to give back to society, to show that we care about the plight of our brothers and sisters. That is all we are doing today. We are showing the human face of insurance.
The donation was a collective effort by the National Insurance Commission, Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana, Ghana Insurers Association, Chartered Institute of Insurance Ghana, and the ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme.
Now, there are growing concerns about the continuous adoption of conventional farming practices which contribute to the country's degrading soil quality levels. The Ghana Institute of Horticulture is the latest to join calls against farming methods that tend to negatively affect the soil structure with consummate effects on food and nutrition security. With climate change impacting heavily on agriculture, the group is advocating the uptake of a conservatory type of farming known as regenerative agriculture to restore the country's arable lands. Here's more in this report.
Many arable lands in Ghana are continuously eroding owing to poor agricultural practices, mining, infrastructure and urban expansion, illegal logging, overgrazing, among others. With the country's soil erosion level pegged at nearly 40%, the worrying trend of depletion is a threat to agricultural productivity. At its 23rd Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference, members of the Ghana Institute of Horticulturists were alarmed by the various environmental changes impacting negatively on crop production. Professor Harrison Dapa is a crop scientist.
Temperatures are increasing, there are flooding, so we are not talking of the Volta River flooding, but the natural ones which come out of rainfall, which people's farmers' fields are actually flooded and others. And then we have the environmental increases in pests and diseases all over the place because of the changing environment. And climate change impact is having a huge impact on us. And that is why we're saying that hopefully as we discuss this issue at this particular conference, we'll be able to come out with something that will be able to help farmers to fight climate change.
Head of Horticulture Department of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Francis Appiah, is not only worried by the impact on food security, but also nutrition security. He's advising farmers to employ practices that protect the integrity of the soil.
We have the potential to show the world that it is possible to feed a nation while preserving the environment. We need to keep a balance of feeding the nation through proven practices for yield and quality, and then keeping its health. We can be the torchbearers of regenerative horticulture while not abandoning the known practices with capacity for yield without neglecting quality, setting an example for sustainable practices that can nourish our people and protect our planet.
Themed the sustainable crop production and food security through regenerative agriculture, the scientific conference brought together industry players in the crop production hub. The group is prevailing on the government and other private investors to channel resources into the horticultural sector. Professor Halim Abubakari is president of the Ghana Institute of Horticulturists.
I think what we need now is more investment and best management practices. We've been doing that over the years, and if you look at a lot of the money that goes into regenerative agriculture and sustainable agriculture, they're mainly from NGOs and organizations, and we all know that this is not sustainable. So we're calling on investors in Ghana. We know people who are doing investment, and they're investing in real estate, they're investing in manufacturing, but we are thinking that we can also put some money into regenerative horticulture. So we are calling on the investors within the country.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Brightquick.
And that's it for this segment. The news continues after the break.
Let's do sports now on JoyNews Today with me, Muftau Nabila Ablai. On Saturday, Ghanaian striker Rafael Jomina died of heart attack while playing for his club Ignatia against Partizan in the Albanian League. And one doctor who had advised him to stop playing football about 3 years ago, Dr. Pambo, says footballers or athletes should pay attention to their bodies when it does not respond anymore.
The statistics do not favor athletes of African origin or ethnicity. So a quick run through, the typical black African athlete is more susceptible to an exaggerated cardiovascular adaptation to sports compared to their Caucasian colleagues, and then also more predisposed to suffering a sudden cardiac arrest compared to their Caucasian colleagues, and more predisposed to missing some of these diagnoses or running into what we call a diagnostic dilemma compared to Caucasian colleagues. So that inherent statistics and or genetic predisposition does not favor us. That should be well established. Plus the fact that, yes, we have always preached on this side that the only way we can be successful with early detection would be to make our pre-competition medical assessment mandatory. And at the level of Confederation African Football competitions, CAF would not allow anyone to compete in any CAF sponsored or CAF affiliated competition or tournament if you do not go through medical assessment successfully. So this is mandatory, and we ensure this is done at the various local levels or various league levels in various countries. It is also mandatory that before you can be able to register a player to play in any division, you should be able to go through comprehensive medical assessment. What we are lacking, or what is basically a challenge on this side, is the fact that when you even pick the basic problems, the ability to do further evaluation to be able to say this is sport related or this is probably a medical problem, then becomes a problem.
That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com, and also at 2 p.m. when my colleague Nathan Ato comes your way with Sports Today. We appreciate your time. The news continues with Aisha Ibrahim.
It's time to get into what is happening in the world of showbiz. And Mr. Logic has been talking about what High Life has been able to do for the country, and also expressing his displeasure that High Life has not helped us as a country. All the laurels that we have won in the creative space globally and all the global attention we've been getting, High Life has done nothing. It is rather reggae which is actually getting all these laurels for us, and High Life is a disappointment for the country. Well, he said this to me at the album listening party of reggae dancehall act DSL.
It does. It tells me how confident he is and how he believes in himself. That's the first sign of success. You need to believe that there's a space out there for you, regardless of what is being choked in. Afrobeat is being choked or not, but tell me, how many Afrobeat songs on the world market is from Ghana? We have less representation of Afrobeat on the world market. Okay. But we have more of reggae out there. Stonebwoy is a reggae artist. Shatta is one of them. They only, mix and blend sometimes Afrobeat, a little bit of High Life and all that. But these guys are reggae. Samini is a reggae dancer. He took the first mobile. Look, I can tell you, IB, High Life has done nothing for this country. High Life music has brought no glory to Ghana. Okay, let's go back to Rocky Dawuni. He won the Grammy, isn't it? Yeah, he got corrected. He got nomination. At least that was a big shine. Yeah, big step, huge step. Where was High Life when Rocky was being nominated for the Grammy? Where was High Life? Charlie, look, let's take our time to identify our weakness and our strength in this music and stop being, stop stigmatizing reggae as in we.
Well, that is Mr. Logic, and I'm sure the conversation will still continue and on and on and on. Well, yes, on Saturday at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel, the business environment met for the Ghana Business Award, and Amanzo Nats Brew was adjudged as the Legend Musician of the Year. Well, he says that it's the business of music that has made him who he is today. When I had a chat with him.
Well, if I haven't, I should be dead by now. Because you see, sustenance of life depends largely on your avocation, what you choose to work in and then gain what you need to propel yourself to any level that you want. And music business has really made me what I am, and there's nothing like it.
Do you see your peers doing same? Have they done same for themselves? Have they understood the demographics of the business part of music?
I believe so. I mean, there's a lot of wealth going on around, and you see all the artists in this country really riding high. I'm not saying it's absolute, but I'm saying that quite a significant number of artists who really are worth their salt and what they're doing really proves that music is a business that if we all rely on and depend on. Check the ancillaries. The work that we sprinkle apart, those who are actually disseminating music on the internet, everywhere, all the various social handles. Where won't you find music today? It's everywhere. It's so pervasive, and everybody knows that it is something that if we really look at it carefully, it would not only bring us laurels, but it will give us substantial amount of monies that can take care of every project that we can think of.
And that was Amanzo Nats Brew at the Ghana Business Awards over the weekend at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel. The name is Ibrahim Ben Bako, and let me hand you over to Aisha, who is busily posting me.
On Twitter or Facebook. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. That's how we wrap up the bulletin. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. To enjoy the rest of our programs.